Age of Wonders has revolutionized the way that we play 4X strategy games with the sheer amount of customizable options. If you want to play as a frog necromancer of House Reptomancer, you certainly can do. So let's go ahead and show you all the customizable options. Let's go to new game, and we can see here that we have the realms. So we have a set of official realms in which you can obviously play towards your preferences here. But for me personally, I want to show you the customization options because that's what this video is all about. Create our own realm. As you can see here, there is realm traits, and we can customize that to the level that we're choosing. So we look here, there's obviously a significant amount of options that allows us to effectively place on realm traits to this world. And I believe that you can unlock some further ones. So if we look here, we look at player distance, we can actually make it quite close, so we can make it quite far away from each other. Depending on how you want to play this, you can make it that level of customization. So let's say you're fairly new and you kind of put the difficulty down onto relaxed, easy, or normal, and you want them to be relatively far away just to give you some time to learn the game. You can do so. Alongside that, obviously you have 2 to 8 players, and on the turn system you can have simultaneous turns. So let's say I'm playing with a friend. Gonna have to find one first, but if you have simultaneous turns, what you can do there is like you can play at the same time. So our actions happen at the very same time, so we can allow ourselves not to be, not to make it very stagnant, if that makes sense, because we can quite literally play at the same time, and our actions won't interrupt each other unless we're obviously fighting something. But you can obviously make the name of it, and you can change the portal visuals. So depending on what your approach you want to take, for example, this portal makes sense to be like some form of high elf or something like that, as that does look it looks beautiful in fairness. And you can go towards a little bit further down the line, going into the realms of maybe necromancy on this portal. You can really scope to exactly how you want your realm to look. And if you jump into the next one, this is the character creation / characters we have available to us. So these are all the ones in which I can just select off the bat. If I so choose to, these are ones that are customized characters that are ready to go for us. Obviously, you have things akin to like a Necron the Risen, his Tomb of Warding, which we can jump into a little bit later on, but they are of cruel Deathbringers. But if we click on Create Faction, we can see that we have a ton of physical forms and customizational options here. If you want to play human and have sex with your wife every 2 months in Missionary, you certainly can do that. But there's also elfkins, there's orcoids, there's dwarfkins, halflings, goblinoids, felines, ratkin, toadkin, and moldkins. So there is an awful lot of options here. And if we were to click on one of them, so let's say we're going to go with goblinoid here. We as gobos. And we see that we have Feudal, High, Barbarian, Industrious, Dark, and Mystic. This is the same options for every single one, but it will very much change and mold the campaign around this. For example, with the Dark one, I have played, as we saw at the beginning of the video, I played a Necromancer Toad, and obviously I went within the Dark magic. But if you want to play a very, obviously a good faction per se, you can go towards more High and Feudal and things like that. It just depends on how much you want to approach it and what you want to do with your campaign, because this will very much funnel and change how you will play, the units you'll obtain, and it's an interesting way of playing, because this is a big decision. And I'm not sure about you guys, but every single time I have this many customizational options, it takes me a long time. The majority of my Skyrim gameplay is making characters, but as you can see, you have a ton of options here. So let's go ahead and make the Toadkin that we made similarly. Let's make the Dark Toads. This is what we did on stream as well. And you can see here that there's an absolute ton of society traits. So you can see that they have order affinity and things like that. That is next to their names. These affinities will lean towards gaining you traits and abilities inside the game as well. So depending on the affinities you have, you'll gain these affinities within the game. So potentially it could be a good idea to spread across. But you can see the things like Scission of Evil, I'm basically -10 alignment, so I'm out here being a bad dude. Fun fact, minus alignment can actually give you some positive bonuses, such as Imperium and things like that. But as you can see, there's an awful lot of options here, and the society traits will be able to funnel you towards exactly what you want. If you want to play in any form, you can genuinely do it. Like, if you are going to the architects, you can go to Great Builders, you wonderful architects. If you want to play a mage, you can go towards the gifted casters, the mana channelers. If you want to be a barbarian, go towards these. And it does actually tell you and give you the indication of what affinity is each one of these providing. So let's go towards these. Let's just do these two for now, then hit select. Here is where the Tome of the Tome of Magic comes into play. This is also the affinity towards getting some benefits as well. But you can see that there is an absolute ton of options here that will allow you to funnel and play towards what you want to. For me personally, if you want to go in a very healing-esque route, Tomb of the Root is perfect for that. Zeal is Paladin-esque. Faith is probably similar to Paladin. Souls is like the dark element, being evil and doing all that kind of gubbins. Cryptomancy is obviously a frost mage, and you got loads of really cool options here. The Necromancer one does unlock a little bit later on. This is just the one to begin with. So we'll do Tome of Souls. So I could either be a Wizard King, or I could be a Champion. So starting with the relations of the three cities is actually very useful. So let's go into Champions here. And then as you can see here, these are my characters. And we can see here that I have a ton of ways of customizing my character here. You can change up the physiques, you can change up the arm lengths, the leg lengths, skin color, the skin decorations. We have different poses we want to play with. Obviously, we can just change near enough everything that you can ever imagine for this character. And if you were to get a new character as well, you can change up the way they look as well. It's not just specifically scoped into the character we're creating now. But as you can see, you can really change and do everything you fancy towards your armor, towards the character's look, and obviously you can change up the way that your banner is and all of that good stuff. You can change up the way that your actual race looks, the way your generalized race will look, so new units will obviously follow suit with this. You can change up the mount types that you wanted, so if you want these guys to be using horses instead, you can do. I went with boars, I believe, which is the default one, but you can have an awful lot of really cool stuff, and we can obviously have hair color for these guys, the armor color as well, we can change it up. But yeah, it is honestly bonkers, the level of customization that this game has, and I hope you guys have an absolute wonderful time playing this game and customize it to exactly how you fancy, because you have the options to do so, and have a great time RPing and playing towards them. I was doing all sorts of weird and funny voices when I was playing the Toad. I was cracking a ton of joke, and looks like my chat was croaking a lot, but it was good fun. But yeah, thank you so much for watching as always. Have a wonderful day, and make sure to check out my other content on the screen now.